Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach a little gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and we have guests today. As always, my good friend Rob is here.
Hey,
but we have Damon and Brent with us also from our contributors from the site there. They're back to help us out do another show here. So, yeah. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we get moving on?
Just put him right on the spot, right? That's,
yeah. Oh, Damon, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Quick, distract the people.
That's like intermission when we're serving nachos.
I think we heard his voice. There we go.
There we go.
Hey,
Awesome.
sorry, but I don't know what happened there.
Oh man, we have been trying to get this show going for about 20 minutes here, so that's just right on par with everything.
Gonna be that kind of show.
Yep.
Yeah. And then like me, who has my volume down, doesn't hear it call.
Yeah.
It's that day.
It is. It is.
So just in the housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
We just wanted to ask, if you're out there watching our YouTube videos or checking out our podcasts, whatever you're doing, like and subscribe. Review them, whatever. It helps us out immensely. And we don't ask for anything else. We don't charge for our stuff. Not yet, anyways. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it'd be I don't know how that would go, but
yeah.
Comment. Let us know what you like, you don't like. If you like long walks in the park, if you're just wanting to hug another person because you haven't been able to for a while.
Yeah, if you're just looking for a little human contact, we're around.
Yeah, Ryan will come to your house and he will hug you.
You can reach Rob at rob.lego at...
Actually, I thought Rob was going to start leading into the Margarita song with that one.
Yeah.
We're just lonely. We just want to hug somebody. So
very lonely.
Yep.
Last little bit of housekeeping is the episode that we did with Chris Chipman of Shooting the Breeze. Wink. Is now out and available for everyone to check out. Go check it out. We had an awesome time, and he was on our show there last week. Great guy. There was a lot about video games. Had a lot of fun. Tons of fun.
Yeah, we got a link on the Facebook page, so just look for that.
Okay, let us move into news. Oh, we need some interstitials, so if anybody out there makes them.
Great. I'll look up some on Jobber right now.
Yeah. So first bit of news we have is a Resident Evil 4 remake is reportedly in the works. When I read this, I'm not looking for a remake of 4. How about a remaster? Because 4 is already, it's in the new style format. I mean, I guess the shooting's still a little clunky compared to what these newer ones are, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you guys. I just I don't think it needed to get a remake. It's and like with the shooting being clunky, I think that was an intentional game mechanic to make it more tense. You can't strafe. You're planted when you're trying to aim and stuff. But you're right. I think it's too soon. How many times has it been re-released already? Like it was on. I just bought it. I think like 6 months ago, and
Yep.
I own it on I own it on 4 systems. So I bought it originally on GameCube, and every other time I'm like, man, I'd like to play this again. It's cheap. I'll just pick it up and throw it in my back catalog and get to it someday, and never do.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely agree on remasters rather than a remake, and I seriously love the game. I own it on multiple systems too. I really actually enjoyed it on the Wii because it kind of, I don't know, it kind of fixed, that whole shooting mechanic because you were able to use the Wiimote and everything. And I just found that was for me, that was one of the best versions of the game.
You know, it's funny. I was just gonna end with a wee joke about waggle controls on it because I did pick that version up to try, but no, that's good to hear that, and that makes sense, right? I guess aiming with the Wiimote there. Okay. Humble Bundle has the Starbdock Humble Bundle, which made Rob and I laugh hysterically when we saw this because we were just talking about
Star Control 2.
Star Control 2 last weekend. Yeah.
And then about an hour after we saw that, they were selling it on this Humble Bundle.
That's awesome.
So, wow.
Yeah, great game. You guys ever play any of the Star Control series or
way a long time ago? But yes,
sure.
Yeah.
Way back for me too.
But it's a big cheap bundle. Like it's 18. I think it comes to 18 Canadian, and you get all 4 of the Star Controls plus a bunch of other good looking games. So that's one you should check out if you like Star. What would those be? Not RPGs, but like yeah, you know,
like a space strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Strategy. There we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I played it on Genesis, to be honest. Was my first time I dipped into Star Control.
Right, yes. The first one was out on Genesis. You bet.
Right.
You bet.
And I had a great time with it. But it's come a long way. I should actually pick up that bundle and get into the other 3.
Yeah, the second one was just MS-DOS and Panasonic 3DO.
Yeah.
2 very differing systems in popularity. But the 3DO version was the best up until they just someone did like a complete remake or remaster of the game in a freeware thing that one of our viewers is pointing out. Urquan Masters had and I was checking it out. It's actually pretty good. It's got a few bugs, but I mean it looks amazing. It's kind of completely redone graphics, and it's kind of cool to see. But I don't think it's stable enough. I'm going to do a let's play of Star Control 2, but I don't think that version is stable enough for me to do it with that. So think I'm going to do the 3DO. Have to blow the dust off that and try it.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Sweet.
You bet.
So the Switch had an update this week, and usually their updates, they just have that line in there that it's stability and like stability fixes and whatnot. Like they never have anything too specific. But this one had some specific stuff, and I wanted to bring to attention at least 2 of them. The first being they added an option to be able to transfer your data from the system memory to the SD card, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was no copying between the 2 before. And, if you originally installed your game on, just in the system memory, it's going to, and the DLC comes out, it's going to download the DLC to there, too, and then eat up your entire system memory. So now they let you copy between the 2. And the other one, which came out of nowhere and is kind of a weird one for Nintendo to get on board with, they added an option that you can remap your controller buttons.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Definitely welcome for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I got a few games where I'm like, this is a little awkward. I'd like to be able to, yeah. So, there's a couple. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, they're still missing a few tiny things that I like. The saves. Let us transfer the saves, please.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, like that, and so that's probably the key, and maybe some folder. I'd like to add some folders to my home screen. Just That would, So
actually,
please,
they also need to let you manage your cloud saves too, because there's no managing your cloud saves. Like, you gotta completely uninstall the game to delete something from the cloud. Like, I had a game that I wanted to start fresh, and the only way I could do that was to delete the game fully because it had the cloud save still going.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of quality of life stuff that I think Nintendo has to catch up with. And they were kind of pet peeves of mine in reading about the Switch. This was why I kind of put off buying one for so long, because I thought, oh my God, that kind of stuff will just drive me nuts because it's widely accepted and normal with every other system.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, always nice to see some updates happening to the Switch. No problems there.
Yeah, I think for Switch Update 10 though, they should have went big, but that's
No
just
kidding.
wishful thinking. Yeah.
Announced the N64 online. Sorry,
Or how about give us some more games in the SNES and NES online there. I know they gave us a bunch. That was almost got to be almost 2 months ago that we got the last burst of games.
Right,
still,
right.
Still playing Super Punch Out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I was just kind of stoked to see that they had Ghosts and Goblins on there, because I probably spent a small fortune on that in the arcades, and I love the
Yeah.
game. And I was
Mhm.
just like, maybe I need to switch now.
Speaking of companies doing good things for people while this pandemic's going on, how's that for a segue, Rob? You like
That
that?
was
Huh?
about a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna give you
Aw,
that.
come on.
It started strong, and then you kind of just
I went for the praise in it. That's
Yep.
always Sony. They're giving away 2 pretty darn good games for free to everybody.
That's right.
Part of their stay-at-home initiative. So the games are Journey and the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, which is 1, 2, and 3.
Well, when I saw those titles, I had hoped they'd do something like this. I never did stop believing. That's you were looking for the Journey joke.
I was looking
had
for
to.
the
Yeah,
I was
okay.
looking for the Journey joke. There we go.
I caught that one.
It's because we're a bunch of small town boys born. Yeah. Anyway. Yes. Good on them. Good on them.
Yeah. Play Journey. If you've never played it, you should play it. Honestly, it's quite good. Yeah.
Okay. The only Journey I'd ever played was for E.T., and it was the one game based on the or not E.T. Sorry, the Atari.
The Atari, yeah.
The Atari, not quite the same game. So, but it's good. I hear lots of people saying great things about it. So you've played Journey before?
Yep. It's short and sweet, but it's super polished, and it is a journey. It sounds corny, but it just kind of you start the game, and in the distance you just see a mountain with a light on it. You don't really have any instruction. You're just like, I need to go to that place, and that's the game, and you just off you go. And
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no hand holding. You just kind of like discover the game on your own, and it's great. It's also great to play with maybe like younger gamers or gamers that aren't as seasoned as some of us older and grumpier people. But yeah, it's easy for them to grasp onto, and it's even got kind of like an asynchronous co-op aspect to it with other people that are playing the game as well.
Oh.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's really good.
Okay. Yeah, I just heard that it's good stuff, but that even sells it even more. I'm down.
Yeah.
Okay. World War Z is being ported to the Switch. The developer Saber announced that it was the hardest thing that they've ever had to do. And if you've played it, it's not a graphical powerhouse game, but I can imagine they had trouble with all the sprites. Is that what we would still call them? Like with all the zombies on screen? I bet that would just bring the Switch rate to a...
Right, I bet. Anyone played this game, or?
No, I haven't played it.
I've played it on Xbox. And yeah, it's good. It's fine.
Was it like a Left 4 Dead, like an unofficial Left 4 Dead sequel? Would you call it, or?
Yeah.
Same
kind of idea. I bounced off a bunch of things like, the menus were horrible, and I thought I was into playing the game, and I was actually into like the versus modes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are people on my team shooting me? Like, It was like maybe it's a whole old guy thing. I don't know, but
Right.
the menus were horrible. And then when I finally figured out the story mode, I ended up with that. Two other people from online and joined me, and then like one of them was off doing his whole thing the entire time, and only three of us were actually trying to finish. Yeah, it was. They force a lot of the online stuff, and I don't think you can have computer controlled players. Like I think they always have to be online. So
Okay, got you.
maybe you can. My patience wore thin, and I wasn't too. I just liked the headline that it's the hardest thing that they ever had to do. That's why I thought I was going to mention it here.
Right, right. So you'd say that your patience world wore thin? Is that what I'm hearing you say, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And
okay.
and now your patience can wear thin portably. It's fantastic.
There you go.
Now I can take it with me. Yeah. Next up, we have one that's an interesting one. Crysis Remastered is coming to the Switch.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Speaking of games that have difficult times running on the Switch, how about this Crysis? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a running joke for 10 years or so, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, can it run Crysis?
Yeah.
Now it's running on a Switch.
Now they're going to put it on a Switch. Well, they're going to put that first version on the Switch, and it'll run just fine now.
Looking forward to it. I was left out of the Crysis wave. I was during that time. I was pretty much console exclusive for a while, so I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna jump back in. So
Sure,
Nice.
you bet.
Yeah.
Is there a date on Crysis? I got the article right here. Oh, out this summer. There you go.
Yeah, just this summer, no official date. Yeah. They also announced this week that the PS5 is probably just going to have an initial run of 6 million, which sounds like a big number. But when you got to distribute that to the world, yeah, that's a drop in the bucket.
And now that they've said it's going to be shorts, you're going to get guys buying 3 or 4 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because people are awful.
Yeah. Where do you think the price is going to land on that?
Well, they're saying 500 US. So,
I mean, that wouldn't be terrible.
No. But I think that's the least they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to be 500 US. So, like 1,200 Canadian.
Yeah. And your firstborn.
Yeah.
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 Do you like having 2 kidneys? We didn't think so.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, I already stated on here when we had our last big discussion that I'm probably going to wait till second run anyways. The first run of a console is usually the one that has the overheating problems or, that one part that just dies all the time. So,
yeah.
That just helps.
I think we lost Brent. I haven't heard him talk in a while, and it says 3 or 4 in the call.
All right, everyone, we had some technical difficulties there, but we are back on track. We were talking about the PS5 initial production run being limited to 6 million, which, doesn't sound like it's not many, but in the grand scheme of the world, yeah, it's not many.
Yeah.
And the retail price, we're expecting it to be 500 US plus, so yeah.
Oh yeah, easy. I'm expecting like 650 Canadian.
At least.
Easily. And I mean, but the production numbers aren't so far off from the PS4 or anything else because they were only like 1 million or so more when you really look at it. But
okay.
Yeah, I think it was like 7.5 million. Was their initial run during that same time period, if I'm correct?
For their 7.5 million. Oh yeah, so units were sold in the. Okay, well, maybe we won't see
Oh,
hoarding of them or price jacking. They'll be price jacking. Who am I?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like just by the fact that they've gone and said there's going to be shortages, there will be people buying 3 or 4 of these on launch, right? And that maybe that's what they're going for. If you're a conspiracy theorist, right? Like,
Indeed.
How do you drum up some excitement about your product? Well, we don't know if we'll have enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's also going into, try and drive up sales of the limited run stuff.
Definitely.
Maybe. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
This is all we've got. Buy it.
So, Damon, you posted a picture for us this week of the Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox, the rumored one. But
yeah,
that's pretty finished looking to be rumored.
Yeah, exactly. There was like an alternate reality game that some people cracked apart off of the Xbox official Facebook page, and they were able to get these essentially the confirmed pictures that were posted. But yeah, it's coming. It's the Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One X, and it's pretty polarizing, but I'm digging it. Especially the control.
Yeah, I love that. Like steampunk. I don't know, like just like the plate, welded together plates. Like that would be a very, very beautiful machine to have on my TV stand.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people aren't, and there's kind of a reason to buy it, I suppose, because you can still use the current generation moving forward into the Series X.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is still a market for it, and it is a powerful machine.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm liking. Microsoft's killing it with the special edition consoles. Like, yeah, they're doing a great job on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, very much so. I mean, I honestly I drooled.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, oh, I need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may be putting off that Series X purchase and trade in my 1S for that.
That's a good idea.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. Did you guys get a chance to watch the video of the Minecraft with the ray tracing turned on?
I did.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Changes it up. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a completely different game. And I'm just speaking from pictures because I've never actually played any Minecraft, but I've seen lots of videos but yeah, that ray tracing, hoy.
Yeah, do we have
I'm
any
wondering what it'll
Minecrafters
do for other games.
Do we have any Minecrafters on the call? Like, I've never played either. Like, I don't know what the original one looks like other than, yeah.
Yeah. Tiny bit of Minecraft, but I think just as a tech demo almost of what ray tracing is, sure, everyone's seen Control, the game that came out a few months back, and it's like with ray tracing, so shiny mode on or shiny mode off was kind of with the ray tracing. But once you look at Minecraft, which is deliberately styled in a classic pixelized manner, and then you turn the ray tracing on, you can really see the difference in the tech.
Oh, sure.
And it actually makes me excited for the future of graphics, actually. So.
Oh, absolutely. Whew.
And speaking of Control, I would say, we were just talking about Crysis. I would say Control with ray tracing on is the Crysis of our generation.
Yes.
Because unless you're rocking like the newest 10th generation i9 with a 2080 Ti.
Sorry about that.
So for those on the audio podcast, Damon's cat has decided to make an appearance and insert joke, I suppose.
Yeah.
But the Control.
Time for you to go.
Well, it could be cat fever as opposed to fever.
Yes.
Inside joke.
But Control with ray tracing is very much the Crysis of our generation because, it looks absolutely amazing. But if you're not rocking a 2080 Ti with like a 10th generation Intel processor, it runs at about 15 frames a second. But it looks amazing.
It really does.
Yeah. So that's kind of been like, so to see something that's actually going to run with ray tracing on normal people's computers, or at least something a little more reasonable, is pretty exciting for sure. So
yeah,
that could be something like I have an i7, 4 gig NVIDIA and 24 gig of RAM. And I find even mine has issues sometimes.
Oh, sure.
And I was surprised because the thing's a beast, but
You got a little bottleneck somewhere, hey?
yeah, exactly.
And
Somewhere.
might not even be one, like
It's just yeah, like it's just ray tracing right now. Like real time ray tracing is just it's like they've released it before it's ready, before the hardware is there. But
Yeah.
unless you're rocking like a 2080 Ti with, you know, all the bells and whistles, which we're not really the crowd that's doing that. But
Yeah.
yeah, Minecraft.
Yeah.
I took
Yeah,
that right
still
off the
haven't
rails.
played.
But yeah, that just made me laugh. It's like Minecraft and tech demo in the same title, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
The
So
times they are changing.
moving on from news, let's move into what we've been playing. Brent, how about we start with you? Because
Oh God, I know where we're going with this one. I will start off with that game first. Then.
yeah, and so just to be clear, Rob didn't just add this to your what you've been playing. This is you actually added this, and
Yes, that's true. That's true. That's so true.
so
So
tell us all about it.
what I've been playing recently has been Fallout 76,
Woohoo!
uh, um, Elite Dangerous, which I've been gotten back into, and because it's made me thirsty for Fallout, I've been playing Fallout Shelter, which I still love. It's a neat little game.
Elite Dangerous. What's that one again?
Well, that's the thing. I was going to get to that because it's kind of one of those games that seems to get swept under the rug. Yet tons of people are playing it. It's been around since like 1984 or 85. Obviously,
Oh,
only a single player. It is a online space MMO, very similar to EVE Online, but done from a first-person aspect. Like you look out the cockpit of your ship, you fly your ship. There's tons of missions to do. It is a seriously complicated space simulator, which I got started to play about a year or two ago, and then thought I cannot take this thing because I cannot doing anything in it. The learning curve is massive. Just kind of got back into it, and then realized that if I had purchased a better ship or better equipment, a lot of the things that are hard, like trying to land a spacecraft in a space station while you're on a mission, they have auto assists and auto docking modules now, and I'm just sitting there going, damn it. So the game is a lot more fun now because you can actually go on missions, do things. Um, they have this thing like kind of when you drop at a warp speed called Super Cruise that allows you to like jump from planet to planet rather than going from system to system. And dropping at a Super Cruise right on your target is just an exercise in futility. You like overshoot constantly. So now there's a Super Cruise assist that just kind of takes you to your target. So you still get to fly, you still get to enjoy and experience the game, but just these little quality of life things, now that I've found them, make the game so much better. But yeah, you can run passengers, you can, it's kind of a sandbox thing like Eve. You can do cargo missions. The combat in it is absolutely crazy, like just trying to fly your ship, looking through the cockpit of the ship and trying to do actual PvP and combat. um, the game is quite interesting, and once you get past that learning curve, um, it's pretty damn good. I think it was the beginning of this year or last year. There was an exodus to find a newly created system that the devs had put into the game. So no joke, about 18,000 players joined up in a giant armada to travel across the universe to find um,
cool.
this new galaxy that the devs have put in there. And I mean, from giant ships that other ships could dock on if you had to log off. You could land on a planet and catch up, with everybody later. So yeah, it was this giant fleet. It was like a Battlestar Galactica kind of thing. And I think that may still be going on because I think it was supposed to be like 18 months long. So it probably is still going on right now. But the community is great. The game itself is like just amazing. They have it on PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC. Unfortunately, no cross play between all that yet, but the devs are kind of working on it.
I think it's actually on Game Pass. I may be wrong,
No,
but
that's Everspace. You're thinking Everspace.
Oh yeah, Everspace,
Yeah.
which is also pretty good.
okay.
Well, it
Yeah.
looks a
Yeah.
lot like this game, though. I can see how you.
It
how you
does.
could get that. Yeah.
But yeah, so a totally, completely awesome game. You know, for the series, for anyone who plays EVE Online or enjoys those kind of things, um, you know, it's just a lot of fun. I ended up playing. I was gonna like, oh yeah, I'll just do this mission last night, and then started at 6 and didn't finish till like 1 in the morning, just because
Awesome.
I just kept doing stuff and I was trying to save for a new ship, and there's just one more mission, one more mission. So yeah, it's still quite a lot of fun.
Great.
Anybody got any thoughts on that before we go on to the next one?
No.
No,
Okay.
It looks fantastic. Like,
Yeah, I think it sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
It is a pretty game, really pretty. The only thing I had to do last night was turn off the rumble, or find out how to turn off the rumble on my Xbox controller, because every time you move, every time you do something, every time you jump, um, it just the rumble is there. It's great, to let you feel like you're traveling through space and warping through things. But yeah, when you're doing that, 80 times a night while playing, it can get a little bit annoying. So I actually turned the rumble off. Fallout Shelter. Great little game. I started playing it on mobile originally. Um, then moved over to something else, then to PC, re-downloaded on my Xbox, but I'm primarily playing it on Steam right now. And you know how some games you can play and it just doesn't click for you, and then you walk away from them for weeks or months or years, and then you start playing again, and then you're just kind of like, oh, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of clicking for me now, and I'm like, okay, I got this. So I'm like, before I could only handle like, X number of people in so many rooms. Now I'm just kind of breezing through it. I think I'm up to like $45 right now. I think the cap is like 60. So yeah, it's actually really coming along. So it's just one of those games, where for some people it can take time to get all the nuances down, and it just kind of clicks. Started playing it again basically because I was thirsty for Fallout after playing Fallout 76, which I'm going to get to right now. Yeah, I never wanted to go touch it, wrote lots of scathing things about it, I'll be honest. Excuse me. I had some friends who were playing it, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we're having fun doing it. So I thought, okay, great. I'll try it out. I'll play with them. It's semi inexpensive at the current point, and they're putting out a new content pack. What could be wrong with that? New content, completely revised game. Well, yeah. Every time I play, I end up playing for anywhere from 2 hours to 3 hours, and literally get nothing done. The survival aspect of the game just doesn't really fit with Fallout. You have to eat and drink constantly, which has no effect on your like action points or your health points, and even if it does, it's very minor. And just adding that into running around, having NPCs, even in the tutorials that I think are just way overpowered, and just kind of throwing you in there and saying, all right, go to it. I think I'm level 5, 7 now or something, and just kind of being able to hold my own. The game, yeah, it can be very infuriating. Again, you have to eat all the time, so you either have to find food or you have to kill NPC animals to cook your own food at your campsite. And, NPCs are scarce as hell. Finding canned food is, fairly scarce. I mean, at least at these early stages. Building, well, I'd say it's no more frustrating than any Fallout game, trying to build your environment and your house. So the horrible thing is I think it could have been a really good game if handled well, and could have been substantial and lasted a long time if they had just taken like Fallout 4 and added multiplayer to it. Maybe add some extra DLC missions, other things going on, so you could still kind of play all this standalone content, and friends could jump in and out. They could have added, similar MMO stuff where, you have boss battles, dungeon raids. And they have been kind of adding this, but, it's kind of, kind of a late start kind of thing. And ultimately, the game gets really frustrating because there's certain aspects that are great and other aspects that really, really hamper the gameplay a lot and just make you frustrated and not want to play. And then there are just moments where you're running around and you kind of forget about that for a few seconds and you get all happy because you feel like you're playing Fallout with other people. And then it all kind of, just hammers back home again when, all of a sudden you can't walk or you can't move or you know, you can't move as quickly as you should have because you haven't eaten and your food's low or your water's low, or you're over encumbered and you try to run and that lasts for about 10 seconds and then you slow to a crawl while you're trying to escape NPC that are like 10 levels, 20 levels higher than you are. That really shouldn't even be in the area that you're in because you're basically still in a tutorial area at that level. And so, I mean, there's a lot of balancing issues that need to be worked out. I don't know how they're going to be able to sustain the game. I mean, I'd like to see it succeed. I know that sounds crazy given all that's gone on with it since its release, because it does have the trappings and the underpinnings of something that could be really, really good if they just fixed all the stuff that wasn't good and really listened to players. Add more content, add more NPCs. Like, I walked around for 3 hours last night, killed 2 bloat flies, and got a wrench. That was about it.
Yeah,
and still found no food. Nothing, no
So-
NPCs.
So listening to you talk about this, Brent, if you had no Fallout background in it, would you think you enjoy the game a little more?
Probably, and I think this is the case with a lot of the people that I know that are playing it. They've never played Fallout before.
Mm.
They've never touched a Fallout game. A lot of them have played MMOs, as well as standalone games like Borderlands, Halo, other things like that. But they've really never had experience with a Fallout game to know what they're missing, kind of, or to know what's wrong, or to know why it can be frustrating for people expecting Fallout.
Right.
So I think that's where a lot of the people are that enjoying it. But even they complain about issues in the game, just as a game, not knowing Fallout. They complain about a lot of issues that go on with it, a lot of glitches. Constantly, like, I'll log in and it tells you the server isn't there. And then if you basically like beat the game with a stick for a few minutes, then it'll be like, oh yeah, the server is here. We're sorry.
Wow.
The only thing, sorry,
you-
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, I was
just-
just going to say everything you're saying just sounds like everything I've heard that's wrong, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
It's okay. I took one for the team. And even the new content. Oh, sorry, I was going to say something and then it just totally slipped my mind. But even the new content, it's really more of the same clunkiness. Like, I was supposed to go on a mission to put up a sign so that some NPCs come and attack me and then I can take them out. Like, literally a sign saying that I'm like some junk collector or salesman or something. And didn't tell you how to do it, only kind of vaguely told you what to do. And then apparently you have to move your base camp to do this. So it's like, am I going to lose my house? Am I going to have to dismantle my entire house that I've spent days making and move my base camp just to do this one mission? It's like, so if I move my base camp to it, it's my house. It's like, so I looked that up online, couldn't find any info about it. And
Oh no.
yeah, so again, I think like I said, people who've never played Fallout would find it awesome, and they have been enjoying it, but they have been complaining of technical issues. The only thing, and I know this may sound incredibly horrible, the only thing they did get right was playing with other players. Like, when you jump into the game, you go into a world, and if your friends are playing in another world, it's so easy. All you have to do is tap on the list of your friends in the game, click join, and you will automatically join their world. And I mean, and it's pretty quick too. and then all of your, your items, your house, and everything appears in their world for the time that you're online.
Oh,
And so you can actually, and I know it's really slick, and I wish other games would actually, I hate to say it, but would learn from this, because they make it so easy for people to just jump in, join, play. And the only thing is, though, is if you happen to be playing with a group of people and you've all built your houses in the same area, if you have built your land on top of, and it kind of overlaps someone else's land and they're not logged in, they will not be able to join your game or log in, because your land, your building space will actually kind of block them out. That's really the only issue I found with it. But yeah, just incredibly easy to hop in and out, join your friends, not like Neverwinter, where they did everything in shards. And you'd be lucky if you could actually get into another shard where your friend was playing, to join them. And sometimes you'd have to wait a half an hour and keep trying, or an hour, and do it all manually, of course. So that was the one thing that they actually did really amazingly, and it works well.
okay.
Yeah.
It you're still not selling me on. I will try this game someday, and
when it gets like $19.99 or something.
Yeah.
And when it's finished.
yeah, maybe when
Yes.
they're actually done fixing it up.
Any day now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will say right now, even at the state that it's in, which is horribly, horribly broken, Anthem is still currently a better game than this. And I own Anthem. I know that's horrible to say, considering that half the time you can't log into Anthem, you lose things. They've like totally killed the loot system for finding gear and weapons. But even at this point, Anthem is still a better game, playability wise and enjoyment wise.
Well, the dungeons in or whatever instances, whatever you want to call them, in Anthem, I loved that. It was all the stuff outside of that I hated.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, thanks, Brent.
No problem.
Damon, what have you been up to this last little
all right.
while here?
So none of my games are exceptionally new, but I jumped into Splatoon 2 this last week here.
Yeah.
So, I shouldn't say jumped into. I've jumped back into it. It's just with this whole quarantine thing, there's like my fiance is at home a lot, so there's I wouldn't say competition for the television, but there's some compromises that need to be made with regards to gaming. Like I can't just whip into Doom Eternal or something like that for too long before there's a little bit of some audio issues in my ears.
Is she right behind you? I think she's right behind you there.
Yeah.
So anyways, she's actually playing Splatoon downstairs right now. But
Awesome.
What a great game Splatoon 2 is. And I was just kind of doing some digging into it. It's sold 10 million copies on the Switch. That's putting it just behind Pokemon Let's Go, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Breath of the Wild. It's the 7th best-selling game on the Switch, which is incredible. And it just seems to me like I don't know a ton of people that have played it. I know Ryan plays it.
Yeah.
And there's still tons of people playing it. It's still fantastic, and it's the replay value on that is insane. Like it's definitely something that if you have a Switch and you're looking for a shooter and you want that Nintendo polished feel, that's something that you should definitely take a look into. Have you played it, Rob?
Boy, this is where I did play. I didn't like it. I'm sorry.
Where's the disconnect
not...
button? How can I just kick him right out of this call?
Oh, it's popped up. No,
I can see why people like it, and this is just something where I think no matter how popular or good a game is, there's just going to be people like me who just don't get it. But yeah, I know Ryan loves it. And I mean, like you said, 10 million people bought it and love it. It seems like a very well polished game. It just wasn't. Wasn't something I found myself going back to. So
okay.
But, a lot of people love it.
I have two questions.
Okay.
So first question: motion controls, yes or no?
Sticks. That's it. Just sticks. I can't do it. Yeah.
Okay.
I like. It's funny because I love the precision of a mouse and keyboard when it comes to shooters, and I tried the motion controls, and I hear the argument behind it. It's like, oh, you can fine tune everything, but I edited my play style and I just used different weapons, and I do quite handily with the sticks.
Oh, I can believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got used to it from the first one because I played a lot on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And you use the big joypad. Same idea as playing it on the Switch, right? Like
Right.
the motion controls. So I use the motion. I do play with motion controls.
Right. That's. And what was your second question?
The second question, I just thought of it when you were just talking about the replayability of it. Did you get the expansion pack?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I did get the expansion.
Did you play it much or finish it or?
Well, I played it. I definitely did not finish it because it is hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it is hard, and it's and you unlock the Octoling instead of the Inkling, and I see tons of people playing the Octoling online, and I'm like, who are you people? How did you do this? I don't know. Maybe this is just maybe I need to do motion controls in order to unlock this extra layer of my game ability or something. But no, it's not there yet.
I haven't. It's funny. I keep wanting to go back to Splatoon because it's a comfort food game. It's just like fun to hop in there and play. But you just reminded me about. I've always wanted to pick up the expansion pack, but it's really the multiplayer stuff I love in that game. It's not like the single player stuff. If I have to choose, if I'm going to do one, I do the single player stuff because you have to.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I can liken the Octo expansion to like a sadistic challenge mode. It's
okay.
yeah. To punish yourself and see where your skills lay within it. Like it's but in its own right, it is addictive. I can admit that. But ultimately, I never went back to it. So there's that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything to add for anybody else on Splatoon 2?
I have not played, obviously, because I don't Switch. But I'd really like to try it. I'm just hoping for me it will be one of those games that I can enjoy. But like Rob was saying, I played. Oh God, what was that game? Right out of my head now. That big multiplayer shooter that everybody's been playing for years. Because I cannot remember the name of it.
Anthem.
No.
Fortnite.
Yes, Fortnite. Thank you. It was an old gamer moment. So I played exactly. I played it for about a week, maybe a week and a half. Was actually reasonably good at it. I come in, as the winner or in the top 5, but just really didn't enjoy the game for some reason. And I don't know why. You expect if you're winning, you're going to enjoy the game. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. And I've seen lots of Splatoon, and I watched a lot of videos, and I was like, I really hope I enjoy this game because I'd like to try it. I like to have those types of games where you don't need to invest hours in it. I mean, I like those games, but just to be able to hop in, have some fun, play with group, get out, and just still be able to catch those few moments of gaming when you don't necessarily have time or you're not up to it. So yeah, definitely gonna give it a shot when I do get my Switch, and I am working on that.
That is a good thing. Like a match, I think a match is 3-4 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you're in and out. Like it is so easy to pick up and just get in on a match and carry on.
Cool.
And I think something that was really enjoyed was that most people, when you think of shooters, you think of like Twitch gaming skills and stuff. But like the simplest match form in Splatoon 2 is turf war, and you just ink turf, right? So you can actually stay in your own end and you can ink your own turf, and by doing that, you're actually contributing to your team in a large way. So it's not about like who can pull the headshots off and these types of things.
Yeah.
So that way it's really accessible for a lot of people, which is why it ended up here in the house over the last week.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's funny to hear. It's really the only family-friendly first-person shooter. If you think of it that way, right? So
yeah. So Nintendo did a good job on that one. So another game that popped up here over the last week was Shantae Half Genie Hero. And this was on Xbox Games with Gold last month, the Ultimate Edition of Half Genie Hero. So I had it on the Switch, and so we've been playing on the Xbox this last week. So it was all the extra DLC content and everything. Has anybody played Shantae before? Anybody here?
Oh yeah, you bet.
Yeah,
you bet.
Nice.
Great set of games.
Yeah, I haven't, unfortunately.
I gotta admit, I never even heard about it.
So this is the fourth game in the Shantae series. I think that may have started the Game Boy Advance. I'm not too sure. It was
Game Boy Color, my friend.
Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color. Yep.
Yeah. So this newest iteration, it was a Kickstarter. That's where this game actually popped up, and it's fantastic. And the best way I can describe it is, if anyone's played the old Monster Boy games, so it's a platformer, but with RPG elements too, where you can you level up your character in the sense of attacks and magical abilities, and it's even got the Metroidvania aspect where you're traveling back as you unlock different dances to take different forms, and you can reach different places, and everyone's familiar with the Metroidvania formula. But this is it's all wrapped up with like a Saturday morning cartoon feel, with awesome music, and it's just addictive characters, and everything is charming. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which makes it pretty funny at the same time.
Awesome.
And you can finish it up in a few sittings, and there's a lot of replayability with the Ultimate Edition, with like different modes and different characters that you can play through with. And it's definitely something that should be checked out, and it's cheap too. So yeah.
Well, you definitely sold me.
Yeah, and if anyone else, any questions on that one? It's good. Trust me.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying them, because they're a lot of fun. Even the Game Boy Color one, which you can get on the 3DS store still if you happen to get in before they shut that down. It plays absolutely great. Like it was amazing for the time that they could make a game like that, but it's fantastic.
Yeah. And my last game that I've been playing, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Man, it's fun. It's nice to see a legitimate Star Wars game released in the modern era that hasn't been totally bastardized. I'm sure this comparison's been made before, but it's like it's kind of like the love child of Dark Souls and maybe Crystal Dynamics series of Tomb Raider. Like it's really, but then it's like kind of wrapped up in some kind of Star Wars paint. It's and it's treated really well. It's got it's just got a lot of my favorite things that I've always wanted in a Star Wars game but never got in the last few years. And it's challenging. I really appreciate that they didn't pull any punches on the challenge aspect of it. But it does borrow liberally in the game mechanics from Dark Souls and even, say, Uncharted or Tomb Raider. So, anyone else played that one recently?
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I got it for Christmas as a Christmas gift, and I got that and Luigi's Mansion 3. And I was playing them both in tandem, and then I'm like, you know what, I can't. I need to just focus on one. So I actually picked Luigi's Mansion 3, and it's on my list to go back to.
Yeah. I'm only about 10 hours in, so.
But all the things you're saying, I absolutely agree with. Like, I found it challenging, but not to the point that I was going to throw my controller.
Exactly.
Like, it was challenging, but fair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, usually if I die, I was like, I could have done that better. That's usually a tip of a good game is if you're blaming yourself rather than the game, then it's probably heading in the right direction. So, but it's good. I really hope to see EA expand on the single player format of video games rather than just kind of push this one aside because they figured it wouldn't sell, but it did sell. So hopefully this moves them in the right direction to continue making legitimate, deep single-player experiences.
The only complaint I've really read about it is that you're looking at about 20 to 25 hours, and then there's nothing else to do but to play it again on the harder mode.
Mm.
If you're into that, or like just the replayability of it, really kind of drops off after you finish it up.
And it's interesting to hear a lot of people like knock on a game when they say, "Oh, it's only got 30 hours," right? And like, it's kind of funny because you look at I guess in Canada, a brand new game's about $80. Mm-hmm. And if you were to equate that to a dollar amount, right? Whereas if you were to go watch a movie in the theater and you get 2 hours of entertainment for a couple tickets, you're looking at $30. So like, where does your enjoyment dollar amount, where does the line end? And I'm happy with a solid, 30-hour experience. There's no complaints from me on those.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree with that. I was just mentioning that's like, I don't I rarely buy a game at a full price.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Nintendo game I really want, because those things never go on sale.
Yeah.
True.
So, yeah. But it's on my list here to go back to for sure.
Yeah, should definitely revisit it. And the voice acting's fantastic in it.
Oh.
Like the characters are fantastic. There's even you even get I actually, you know what? No spoilers here. No, just you're good. Just play it. It's good.
Yeah. Well, the main actor, Dominic Monaghan, I think his name is.
Yeah. Yeah.
From I know him from Shameless and Gotham. He was the Joker in Gotham.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's awesome in it. Like, from what I've seen, he's really, really good actor to have in that role.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And that's all that's been played here in the household over the last week. So.
Okay.
But being an EA game, how are the loot boxes? There must be loot boxes, right? It's an EA game. Like, there's got to
zero. Nothing.
Zero.
So in the DLC, there's going to be loot boxes then.
Zero.
Well, they kept their promise, at least thus far, with that.
Yeah.
See, that blows my mind. It's like, because EA's other Star Wars game kind of had a little bit of a loot box. Yeah, it's like the other end of the spectrum, right? So
yeah.
Like you said, Damon, I hope this EA looks at this and goes, "Hey, we still made a lot of money on this. Maybe we can just keep the single player loot box free experience," right?
Yeah. The irony is that EA, they're on record stating that people don't want to play single player experiences anymore. That was something that they had the audacity to say, and then meanwhile they're producing this game, or Respawn's producing this game, and they release it to like fanfare and like and people loved it. It's sitting on a 9 out of 10. It's on Steam and stuff. Like, it's
Totally. Well, I think that was more backpedaling, where it's like, we want you to play multiplayer games and not get into the single player experience because we want to make money off of it. But multiplayer, single player games still, are great and people still play them. So we'll just play that up now.
Yeah,
exactly.
I haven't gotten to play it. The aforementioned Battlefront game I actually played when I went to an Xbox event here in Toronto. And oddly enough, Halo 5 was broken. It wouldn't work at all. And Battlefront was the big thing there, and Cuphead. So I got to play a bit of Battlefront, and then I was like, no, I'm not buying any more Star Wars games, even though I absolutely love them. So it's good to hear that this is good, and honestly, when I can get it, I'm seriously looking forward to playing it. And just to touch on one thing, when they talk about content in games, where they're like, oh, well, it's only got 30 hours of gameplay. I mean, really, how many of us in the world sit down and play a game for 30 hours straight? I mean, some of us do, but, you play a game in increments, a few hours here, a few hours there, an hour there, for the most average person. So a 30-hour game, you're getting your money's worth out of it as long as it's a good game.
You bet.
Absolutely. So I'm going to take this opportunity to jump into what I've been playing. If you're all done there, Damon.
All good.
All right. So I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky this week.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very odd, I know. But I took like 6 weeks off there, and the content that they added in that 6 weeks, like, there's so much for me to do again. It's not just the putt thing that I love so much in that game of like just going exploring and building bases. I have some actual quest lines now, and one of them's a little difficult. and I'm loving it. It's it's great. Like all the other quest lines just were kind of more time sinks than actual difficulty. But the one to start building a living ship
Ooh.
is actually I've got to put some time into it, and it's great. So I was in game. I've been dividing my time between that quest line, and I didn't have enough resources to build my exosuit, so I had to go mining to build the exosuits that they just added. And just this morning, I finally built one and went roaming around in it, and it's great. I love it.
Nice.
Anyone have anything to say about No Man's Sky besides me talking about it all the time?
No, I haven't played No Man's Sky. I remember peeking at a few reviews when it first came out, and they were not very good.
No.
And yeah, and then they did No Man's Sky Next. Was it Next? Or they released the
Beyond. Yeah.
Beyond. Sorry,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I kind of looked at it and I'm like, this looks like something I'd really get into, but really get into. So I gotta plan my time carefully around that one. But I do intend to jump into it. Where are you playing it, Ryan?
Oh, on my PS4.
Okay. Yeah.
And this week, I even spent a couple hours in VR because it has the PSVR attachment. And
Really?
yeah, it's just like, yeah, it was so just calming. It's stupid, I know, but just put on the VR helmet and disappear onto a planet for a while. It's great.
That's pretty awesome.
But I only hopped in after the 2.0, the next there. I never experienced any of the earlier stuff, but since then, I looked this morning just so I'd have the number to mention. 186 hours I've put into this game. Yeah, yeah, and that's in under a year. So
That's
Well
pretty
done.
damn good, actually.
Yeah.
oh, sorry, go ahead, Brent.
It's okay. No.
Oh, okay.
I'll after you're finished.
Oh, okay. And then the next thing I actually picked up fitness boxing on the Switch, and I've been doing that. And
Right on.
the first 2 rounds, the first 2 days were easy. I'm like, oh, this is dumb. And then day 3 hit, and I'm like, by the time I was done, I was like, my arms are lead. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it up. I like it. It's fun.
Great.
It's a good just a little more exercise to add in these weird times.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
they have. Sorry, again. Go ahead.
no,
I'll
no,
wait.
no. You can hop in there.
I know it's just so hard when it gets a bit of a lag, and then I think everybody's done, and it's like, should I talk now? Should I talk now? What was I going to say quickly? Oh, No Man's Sky.
Yes.
I saw that and thought, oh my god, there's a game for me. It's a great leisure game. I could just play it. And again, like Damon was saying, when I read the reviews, I was just kind of like, no, it can't be. And with all the updates and things that they've been doing, I really wanted to give it a shot because, I have like intense games that I play during the day, and then I have what I call my brain dead games that I play, when I'm not totally up to playing, or I play later at night. So, really looking forward to experiencing it. And the Switch. The Switch has actually, I think, hit the mark with fitness games where it's been kind of hit or miss on the other Nintendo systems, like that. God, I've forgotten that Switch fitness game, and then the boxing one that you're talking about. People have actually been sticking with them and playing them and enjoying them, and I find that phenomenal. Yeah,
Ring Fit Adventure. Yeah, Ring
Thank
Fit
you.
Adventures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having grumpy old gamer brain day.
Yeah.
So would you actually purchase the Ring Fit Adventure now that you're enjoying the boxing so much?
I only bought the boxing because I couldn't get Ring Fit Adventure anywhere.
Sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Worldwide, yep.
Yeah.
That speaks to that they're doing good with us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
Yeah, I mean, even I wanted to get Ring Fit Adventure even before the pandemic, so it was one that I thought I'd give a try. But yeah, And so, and then lastly, I've got a video game proclamation to make, and yeah, and I'll get Rob to hold all comments till I'm done, Rob.
I'm not making any promises.
So I came to a decision this week. I'm not gonna play any new games until play or buy any new games until the end of May. And yeah, this is where I knew Rob wanted to. With the stipulation, I will buy whatever game we have going in our cheap bag game challenge, which
Okay.
will, but I've got such a back catalog. I was reading an article, and what got me thinking about this was I was reading an article about somebody working on the DLC for Breath of the Wild. And you know what? I want to finish that. I want to get my motorbike. So I'm gonna go back and do that. I have Fallen Order to play. I haven't finished, Luigi's Mansion 3. Like I've fallen into a cycle of moving on to the next shiny thing. And I have such a back catalog that I won't be in any trouble. I'm not gonna run out of things to play. But what also got me thinking about this is I was hovering over Death Stranding and DayZ. They're on sale right now. Death Stranding's on sale half price, and DayZ is like $25. Or not not DayZ, Days Gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna buy these. I'm gonna end up playing these, and then everything else is gonna get backlogged. So for at least the next almost 6 weeks, it will only be stuff that I have, and I'm not gonna buy anything new.
Nice.
Yeah. Which yeah, it's challenging because I like to buy games when they're on sale, and then if it looks great, I end up playing it, right? So
Yep.
I mean, perfect.
I'll be starting a poll on the page for how long Ryan's going to keep this up. Keep the because they're going to have like a big sale on the PlayStation 4 store like tomorrow or something. It'll be
the spring sale.
Yep.
Every game 99 cents, right?
Yep.
So yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I figured I'd make that proclamation, have it here in writing instead of me just saying it to Rob and Rob going, "Sure, Ryan."
Yeah, you bet. I bet that'll happen.
Yeah. Hey, I just saw a pig fly by my window. Yeah.
I was looking for donuts. That was me. I was just gonna say, I think your proclamation is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
As you know, as people who talk about games, write about games, and just enjoy playing them, we tend to, get things on sale, snap up whatever new game is out. And I gotta agree with you on this. I have like 40 games right now that I'll get into one, play it for like a week or two, not finish it, go off and play another couple set of games. And I literally have about 40 games right now that I kind of have in the mix that I'm playing. And it gets kind of outrageous because then you lose track, you end up not finishing things, and it detracts from the, I think, overall enjoyment of the games that you're playing. Whereas if you just finish it and then you're like, wow, okay, that was great, move on to the next one. And I was going to say, I think we should all have a little challenge among us that within, say, like the next month, we have to finish a particular game that we're playing. I mean, unless it's a super long game or an open-ended one.
All right, Skyrim, go.
Yeah.
You get Witcher 3, and you get
Skyrim 6 years running, still haven't finished it. But yeah, I was thinking about that because the not No Man's Sky. Jeez, my head's going in the other direction. I started playing the Outer Worlds, and I absolutely love that game.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, it's what Fallout should have been, and it is phenomenal. You've got to hit a mark in that game, and then you really start to see the nuances of it, and just how many bloody side quests and main quests, and just so much stuff that's going on. But I want to finish it. I want to enjoy it, and then I get sidetracked by Fallout 76 and Elite Dangerous. So yeah, I think your proclamation is a brave stand. And I can totally appreciate it. And yeah, I think we should, between the four of us, have a little challenge, like within the next month or two, to actually have a game and finish it, and then talk about the experience of it when we, next time we meet up and do this again.
Yeah,
Okay.
busting that backlog. Yeah.
Yeah.
So also to help me not hop on the shiny train when it comes rolling by, I let my Game Pass subscription lapse this week too,
Oh no.
because that's been a big contributor to the whole shiny pulling me off in other directions. Because like Plague Tale: Innocence came up, and
Oh
I
no.
had to yeah, I had to play that, and then I was playing Outer Worlds, and yeah, a lot of stuff caught my attention on there. I'll go back to Game Pass. I'm not giving up on Game Pass. Don't get me wrong. I love but I need being a video game addict. I know what my triggers are.
I've always kind of thought Game Pass kind of it panders to the serial gamers in us, because we all grew up in the era of renting games, right? Where we could go down and be like, oh, I want to play that game. Oh, I'm going to play that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of, to me, what Game Pass has replaced, is that the game rental. So basically, you've sworn off renting games for the next month. Is what you're saying? So,
yeah, essentially.
Yeah, it's like the old Blockbuster. It's like, oh, should I rent that game and that system?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not eating out because I have food at home.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Rob, what have you been playing? We left you for last today.
Hey. Well, it's funny because every single one of the games I played on my list are because I wanted to finish them. So it's funny that you had a little segue there for that. But
oh, great!
I'd unofficially started the challenge a week early, I guess.
Nice.
First game is Yoshi's Crafted World, because my daughter and I are going to beat that game if it kills us. It's not because it's challenging; it's because it's a little grindy, but it still has a lot of appeal, a lot of fun to it. We're actually playing that about 20 minutes before the call here, and we're just about there. But I mean, just a fun game to go back to, especially if you have kids. You can, because there's almost no penalty for dying. It's a really cute but wonderfully crafted platformer. Again, yeah, just another well-made first-party Nintendo game. So it's.
I haven't tried a two-player. Like, do you have to get to a certain point, kind of like Luigi's Mansion, to bring in the two-player, or it can be right off the bat?
You can add them in at any time. There's a normal mode, and then there's what they call a mellow mode, where you can have unlimited flying, and everything's a little bit easier for the kids.
Okay.
You can do it right off the bat. So
maybe I'll run that by the wife, see if she's interested in trying that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, you bet. So yeah, playing that with my kids. Steam World 2 Dig is the other one. I actually rolled credits on that one this week. Just everything Damon said about Shantae is exactly the same thing with Steam World 2 Dig. It was or Steam World Dig 2. Yeah, I wrote it down wrong here. I'm like Anchorman here. I just read exactly what's on the notes. It's
I'm Rob Lego.
It's an absolutely amazing Metroidvania. I think it was the fourth game. Reading off the notes here, is the fourth game in the series from Image and Form, and it's amazing. It's got a lot of nice little throwbacks to the first game. There's even though you beat it, there's a lot of replayability to it. There's a good continuation from the story of the first one, and I'm playing that because of Stadia. You talked about the Game Pass going away, but now I've got 2 months free of Stadia, so I'm going through the games that they offer for free. And that's how I would have never tried this otherwise. But it's just a really wonderful world, amazing pixel art, lots of replayability, just a great game. And I'm actually going to go back and try the first one here because I love the second one so much. So
yeah, I put a lot of time into the first one. It's great. I loved it.
Yeah, you bet. And then the last one is another game I'm trying to get through here, is a Super Lucky's Tale, which is like, I'm going to look up who made that because I'm going to goof it up. That was Playful Corp. And it's a very kid-friendly 3D platformer. You're a little fox. You're fighting some cats. Again, very family friendly, and that's a lot of what I'm playing right now because the kids and my wife are all here. So, Doom Eternal's not going to happen. So I went back into this for the same reason that Ryan was mentioning. I wanted to finally beat some of the back catalog here, and it's a really delightful, well-made 3D platformer. Very well done. So available on Game Pass. And I think, they've got a Switch version. They've got a Steam version. It's out for the Xbox One as well. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Anyone try out any of those games or anything to add? I just kind of barreled through them here, but
not tried it, but was really interested in Super Lucky Steel because I watched a video on it once and it looked absolutely hilarious and fun, and I was thinking, I'd really like to try this game. And just been debating what system to buy it on. So I think I'm going to hold off on it until I get the Switch.
You bet. It is free on Game Pass if you wanted to try it on that. But
now you got to tell me that. I may just.
But it's a nice relaxing, with everything else going on in the world. It's a nice relaxing, well-made platformer. So that's kind of my go-to when I just want something relaxing. So there you go.
I think I'm going to check out SteamWorld right after we're done Shantae, because something's going to fill that hole. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if you're done there, Rob, we can move on to our weekly poll. You all done there, Rob?
I'm all done.
All right. So Brent actually put up our poll question this week, and he asked, at the end of the Switch's life cycle, what would you like to see come from Nintendo? Coming in third was a hybrid Super Switch with the dock being a high-end console. Coming in second was something new and innovative. And coming in first was a high-end console with the Switch being the new handheld. So that was, yeah, I mean, we could see that happening, I guess, right? Like, them. Well, I don't know. Do you think they would go back to having a standalone console now that they've had such success with the Switch?
Well, it's hard to tell with Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
It's man, they're always out of left field. You can say like, oh yeah, they're gonna do this, and then they won't. That's how they roll. But it's almost given that they're gonna have to have some higher fidelity in graphics at some point, and whether that be moving away from the 720p that's on the handheld itself, and maybe get like a 1080 version into the handheld. It's kind of like a Switch Pro, because they have such a huge install base. I don't think they would want to alienate anybody by moving away. It just seems like they're on too much of a roll right now. And they've already proven that they don't have to have like 4K graphics in order to be able to be successful, right? They're outselling everybody right now. So
it's true.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just segue from the thing here, and I'm going to share a screen to you guys.
And this is when the call hangs up.
Yeah. I got to mess with it, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Did it not... Did it come up for you guys?
It's just... Yeah, there's a bunch of furries on the screen right now. Is that that's what they call them? Or...
Is it Beaver Fever?
Yeah. So, is it showing to you guys?
Yeah,
yes.
You betcha.
Okay, so Brent, you posted this picture this week as an image that's been around as a possibility of a new Switch. What do you?
I mean, I dig it. Again, I do kind of run with your thinking of, Nintendo has an aesthetic that they kind of stick to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't see it being exactly like this, but something, I could honestly see it being something similar, maybe, a revision of the Switch Lite.
Right.
You know, just like you remember with the DS, it was this clunky thing that kind of had like a bridge over top of it, and you know, I own one, and then you know, and it's evolved and through multiple generations of the DS, and become a little slicker, but still held that Nintendo aesthetic. Now, with more people, with more adults playing video games, um, I could see Nintendo actually moving into something. I mean, maybe not that slick, but moving into something just a little sleeker, a little more adult looking, um, could be a possibility. You know, might not. Um, you know, as we're talking about the poll, um, if you watch, like, I mean, Nintendo's always doing stuff at left field. It's like GameCube, Wii U, Switch. I think they hit a great mark with the Switch. You know, being the ultimate console. It's like it's a home console. It's a portable. It's like, you know, the dream of everybody from like the 80s and 90s. You know, a console quality that you could take with you. Um, but if you look at the things that they're doing, they've not become predictable. But I think at this point they become more predictable than they have been in the past. And it's like, you know, they're keeping the Nintendo store. It's not like DS store or, you know, this or that anymore. It's like they've solidified a Nintendo experience that they're going to keep around. And I really see them. And then, you know, with the shutdown, the 3DS store, I think it is that you're mentioning, Rob. Um, I think they're going to go the way of the Switch is going to be the new handheld, and they may actually bring out a console, you know, that offers other games, other experiences. And I think the Switch, and it just hit me in the head now, the Switch is going to still be, um, you know, the main portable console. They may get rid of the current iteration of the Switch and go more to like that picture that we saw, like a bigger version of the Switch Lite, and but also use it as an interface with this new console.
Hmm.
Kind of like, you know, if they had the Wii U and its controller. But, you know, the controller, it's, you know, the Switch would be a totally independent system on its own that could actually interface with the console, you know, the main console when you're playing it.
Yeah, see, it's hard to say because, you know, they tried it and it failed. So
They did.
Nintendo's not one known to go back and, well, okay, maybe. I'm
Motion
thinking Virtual
control,
Boy, Virtual
Virtual Boy.
Boy,
Yeah.
Virtual Boy in 3DS. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. You know what? I just thought we'd have a little talk about it because that picture, like, I commented there, it kind of looked like a Samsung Switch. You know.
It,
Yeah.
it did. It's like, you know, the PlayStation Portable Switch. Sorry, Rob.
Oh, yeah, that was by my photoshopping skills there. See if I can- yeah.
So just because we're running a little long, guys, I'm gonna skip the discussion in the notes here.
Mhm.
It was just we were gonna debate the theory whether there's gonna be an LCD screen on the PS5 controller or not, and it really could go either way, I think. Um,
I,
but I really wanted to talk about something that's making me grumpy this week in particular, and that's since we're talking Switch, let's talk about Joy-Con durability. Um, I'm on my second set of Joy-Cons with my Switch because I was getting the dreaded drift that everyone talks about on my first set. And my first set lasted me 2 years. And I was thinking, why did this one last me so much longer than this? What got me thinking about this is my current set, I'm starting to get drift on my new one, and it's on the same one again. It's on the right thumbstick.
Oh, it's on the right one for you.
Yeah, on both of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
'Cause that's the one you use for every game. Like that's your movement in every game is that right thumbstick, and that's the one that went on my original gray ones, and now it's going on this new set of mine. And I was trying to figure out why the first set lasted me so long, and then I realized that probably the first year of me having my Switch, 90% of the time I played it on the TV. I was using my Pro controller.
mhm.
And then it slowly migrated into being a mostly portable since then. And yeah, I just So they're $100 to buy two of them, and you have to buy two of them. You can't officially buy just one right Joy-Con. Nintendo doesn't individually sell them. And if I've been just playing it portably for all that time, that's an extra $100 a year I would have to drop on my Switch. And I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to get another one here, because I don't know, maybe I could send it in for repair. I don't know how much that costs, but then, I, I guess I could send in my old Joy-Con, get that refurbished or whatever, and then still use these new ones. But still, I'm going to be without a working Joy-Con for a little while. And I mean, at a minimum, I put in 20 minutes a day on my Switch, at a minimum, to a maximum of, who knows, depending on free time. That's when you consider the durability of other Switch control or other Nintendo controllers, that's not a very long time, and that's an expensive replacement to have to make.
So I think I have a solution for you, Ryan.
Yes.
The Hori, Hori, Nintendo Switch Split Pad Pro. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have.
I have it, and it's if you don't need wireless Joy-Cons, like if you don't disconnect the Joy-Cons from the Switch unit itself,
yeah,
that's the way to go. It's $60 Canadian, and it's just nice. It actually kind of reminded me of holding a Game Gear for the first time for whatever reason. I don't know.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like holding the Game Gear, I was like, this is a unit. Like it was. But man, it's so much more comfortable. It feels like somebody cut a Pro controller in half and stuck it on the sides of the Switch.
Oh, so. You're talking about the big ones that they brought out for Damon X Machina?
That's the one.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I actually have a pair of those.
Yeah.
There's also, and again, thanks for reminding me of it. They have a Joy-Con sized one too.
Okay.
But it's the same thing. It doesn't have any of the rumble, or you can't have it disconnected, but it has a D-pad instead of the button. So yeah, maybe I'll purchase one of those in the interim, because yeah, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating that I've got two bad right Joy-Cons now, and not much I can do about it.
Yeah, I had a different issue with the Joy-Con originally. It was my left Joy-Con, and it was the interference issue, and they fixed it by jamming a piece of foam in there or something like that. But yeah, it was the launch switches. They had an issue with the Joy-Cons disconnecting all the time, and I had that problem too. So, yeah.
Okay. Rob, you got anything you wanna?
No, I mean I had to replace my first set as well that I got, and yeah, I was with Damon. It was my left one, the one I do all the moving with, and it just never worked. Yeah, because the left one is the one you use to move your character around, right?
It is, and that is the one that's.
No, I wasn't. We weren't going to say anything.
Yeah. No,
but
it is my left one that's going. I'm just all fired up thinking that it's my right one.
You're an angry man. And my second one started to drift on me here. I was having all sorts of drift problems, but the controller update fixed it.
Oh.
Like, it just started not drifting. I thought I was going to have to get a second set as well, but it seemed to have fixed itself. I don't know how long that's going to last, but yeah, it is a real pain. I mean, it's because you're out of luck without them, right? So
yeah. So I did the update on mine, and then I was browsing the store last night and using the thumbstick, the left thumbstick there, and all of a sudden it like just jumps like.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and then the store is laggy enough as it is, and don't even get me started on the layout of that store, but yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna use those other Joy-Cons, because I do have a set of those, and they are awesome. I don't know why I stopped using them.
Yeah.
And that's actually another game on my to finish go playing, because I have Damon X Machina. So yeah, that's making me really grumpy. Like, come on, Nintendo. And they use these same ones in the Switch Lite.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought I could have avoided that.
So, I had been telling people if they ask me which one they should get, I always tell them to get a Switch, even if it'll save them, $100 or whatever the difference is. I
Yep.
say because, I'm on my second set, but yeah, I can't recommend a Switch Lite to people because of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to be able to avoid that by getting a Switch Lite, but
No,
it's not.
no.
Ah.
Yep.
So what you're saying is I should just go out and spend the money on more Game Pass.
There you go. Well, all right, guys. I think we've been at this for well over an hour here now. So,
Sorry, before you go into the prologue here, there is one thing that wasn't in the notes. I did release the video of your. Thank you for choosing the game you did, Deadly Fighter 2.
Deadly.
Which I've affectionately called now Press A to beat game. It's the Press A game because you can pretty much get through it just by hitting A repeatedly over and over. So having played through that now, it is now your turn.
So just quickly before you announce the game, so I tried about 30 seconds of that game, and I was like, hit, and then it's like, now here's a dodge or block or whatever. I'm like, oh, this looks clunky as hell.
It is, and you don't need to do any of that. They give you all these boosts and all these things that you don't need. You just have to hit A again and again and again.
Awesome. Okay.
So the game I have for you, Mr. Cashmere, is one that I've almost said 3 different times, but I'm going to pull the trigger on it this week. It is called Henry the Hamster Handler. And I can see people just Googling it right now.
Yep.
It's a game that actually we've been playing all these games that are normally more and are on sale 90% off. This is always under $1. So yeah, Henry the Hamster Handler.
I've written it down here, and I will look that up for sure.
So that is, for anyone still listening to us here, this is the game. Ryan will be releasing a gameplay video on this for the Cheap Bad Game Challenge here this week.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
I can't wait too. It looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I just looked it up and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, if that's, I think we're going to wrap this up here then. Damon and Brent, thank you guys for joining us. We'll have you on again.
Guys.
Indeed, thank you.
Have you on guys on again. Have you on here again in about a month. So it's always a joy having you guys on here. And thank you for all the hard work you put in on the website. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
We're the Grumpy Old Gamers. You can find more of our content at www.thegrumpyoldgamers.com. It's not dot. There's no dot in there. Oh my god. I'm crashing. I need some caffeine or something. thegrumpyoldgamers.com. Check that out for all of our original content, and look us up on Facebook. That's where we post all of our news, and that's where we have a lot of activity. And if you're watching the video, you saw us on YouTube, please like and subscribe. That stuff helps us out a lot. And if you're just listening to us, thanks for that. We're on all the major podcast platforms. So once again, everyone, thank you for watching, listening us, and have a good evening, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yep.